It is baseball season, and we're all excited to continue cheering on the Brew Crew.
Of course, yeah, but unfortunately for some, seeing the game isn't possible. But they can still enjoy the sport another way. CBS 58's Stephanie Rodriguez shows us.
I hear you loud and clear.
America's pastime modified.
It is so much fun and auditory.
Nice job. For kids who can't rely on their eyes to play ball.
I love beeper baseball because I love all the sounds. Plus, it helps me when I'm in the outfield find the ball.
I feel like it's a good opportunity for people who are disabled to still be able to play sports.
In beat baseball, it's all about the sounds. So they know where to hit it, the ball beats. And then they follow the sound of the bases to score. It's not about winning, but being able to play.
As many as 70% of children who are blind or visually impaired do not participate in sports or even in sporting activities or gym class. So it's really essential that we give them an opportunity to be active.
This annual Beat Baseball game is in its 8th year.
All right, Mr. Beeper, prepare to get taken down.
And Javon hasn't missed an opportunity to come out swinging.
The best part? Hitting the ball and running to my favorite base that makes a favorite sound.
The excitement that it brings him. He's always energetic, first one to run out and get the ball or hit the ball.
Baseball and softball players from Milwaukee School of Engineering run the games.
You want to grab the bat?
Yes, I want to grab the bat.
Showing the kids they can hit a home run too.
Oftentimes with any sort of disability, the focus is on what can't be done, and we really want to flip the page on this and talk about the things that can be done.
And who doesn't love baseball?
It's so much fun, and I feel like I'm included.
Nice. In Milwaukee, Stephanie Rodriguez, CBS 58 News.
Please hold a pose.
Have you noticed yourself using the subtitle feature more often?
Where are you going? You're hurt.
Ribs will heal themselves.
Like, way more often.
Leave it to Beaver.
But then you flip to the classic shows on MeTV and it's way easier to hear.
Beaver, it's nice of you to help me with the dishes.
Oh, sure, Mom. And it was nice of Wally to have Dad help him with his homework.
Why is that? What's changed? Randy Bobo and Peter Batchelder are audio engineers at independent studios in Milwaukee. They say it's got a lot to do with technology. Filmmakers' technology, but also our technology.
Now, if you go back to the old TV, Dick Van Dyke, Andy Griffith stuff, that stuff was shot on film. It was probably put to an optical track. And the optical track, like an LP, had a limited dynamic range.
You do understand, don't you, Beaver?
It was all in the middle where your voice is.
Another thing.
All those shows focused on voice.
Yes, sir.
Modern tastes and mixing techniques, we can do a lot more than that. You can hear the high ends, you can hear really deep bass, and that causes you to lose some of that dialogue.
The new ways make for some grand sound in theaters, but when you're watching at home on something like this, it's nice TV, but the speakers aren't even pointed at us.
Screen's more important than the audio.
Another reason has to do with artistic expression and the dynamic range.
Dynamic range is the difference between the softest part of the sound and the loudest part of the sound.
Here's how it works. We've recorded my lines using one microphone here in front of a green screen, but we could put me in a park, so let's add some nature sounds. Watch as the audio layers start to stack up here in our editing software. We'll add some traffic noise. Maybe there's a baseball game nearby. Helicopter going overhead. Things are starting to get a little tense, so we'll add some music to heighten that tension. I'm starting to go to the stairs.
The dialogue may seem soft because the explosion in the action scene has to be so loud.
Shots fired. I repeat, shots fired. Drop your weapons! No clear shot. 30 Davis, shots fired. O'Vara Park.
Why doesn't Hollywood just make the voices louder?
Go, go.
That's because everything's finite, right? There is a limit. You can't just keep turning things up and up and up and up and up and up and up forever.
Turn up my voice and keep the music and the sound effects, I start to sound like that.
It's called distortion. The medium can only support so much sound. There's only so much water you can put in a container. Otherwise, it's going to start spilling over.
Can you put the subtitles on?
Thor, we need to talk.
So they can't turn it up. We don't want to turn it up any louder to wake the neighbors.
Precisely.
So what do we do?
Fun. Yay.
Get a better sound system, or get your reading glasses and keep the subtitles.
That's a good sign, right? Oh my God.
Well, glass blowing is an art form that is both beautiful and practical. Just take a look at this little pumpkin. So cute, right? Well, for the last 17 years, one woman focuses on creating pieces just like this. I call her the fairy godmother of glass, and it's this week's Alex Around Town. Racine is seeing its own renaissance. For example, this building was once a lithography company, but now this old gem has a new sparkle to it. Inside, you'll find delicate works of art created by the fairy godmother of glass, Amanda Paffrath.
So sometimes I'll find a colorway and a design that I like and just make it in different forms.
The stunning visuals of glass blowing can captivate the mind, heart, and soul. Okay. This ancient art form has captured Paffraths for the last 40 years.
And all these pieces were created on site.
She's the co-owner of Hot Shop Glass, which opened in 2005. Now she works to shatter the glass ceiling of creativity.
We actually were a group of 4 glass artists that had a vision to create a studio where we could all create our own work.
That work includes more than glass blowing, with an entire fusing studio added just a few years ago. Jill Schlitt teaches the classes.
I came over here and started with an Explore workshop class where I made my first paperweight, which turned out really cool. And then I just fell in love with glass, and I've been here ever since. You take a flat piece of glass, and you cut it, and you layer it, and then we put it in a big kiln, and it fuses and melts together nice and smooth. This is from what people have cut already, but we can reuse that, so someone's mistake is someone's treasure to use.
Treasures of all shapes, colors, and sizes. It's a craze spreading throughout southeast Wisconsin, earning many fans.
Our business has just gone crazy since COVID.
The studio is booked up for months at a time.
Tell us what you're doing. I'm thinking, concentrating.
Something that excites Amanda, who now cherishes sharing her glass-half-full passion with others.
So that's the part I love, is sort of the confidence that people get, facing something that scared them at first and then brought them, joy and sort of empowerment. A lot of people are really intimidated because the material is so hot and dangerous. It looks like lava. Usually people's eyes get bigger and bigger. All right, now that we've terrified you, we're gonna really have some fun.
So we decided to try that fun out for ourselves and make a fall favorite from start to finish.
You're my first pumpkin class of the year. Oh my God. I want you to look over my shoulder in this furnace.
Oh, okay.
And this is where the glass is. So you'll see there's a pot, and that's what holds the glass. There you go. And oh yeah, and stop. Okay, you graduated with an A+.
Oh, good.
Look at that. When it's nice and hot, I'm gonna take this pipe and I'm gonna drop it in that mold, and you're gonna blow really hard, just like you did before.
Then it was time to add some color.
So you're gonna touch down and then lift and turn. So it's kind of like we're putting sprinkles on and slide in and turning all the time. And what you're doing, we're gonna go in a little deeper, what you're doing is you're melting that color in. The goal is to keep it centered. So as the glass gets hotter, you have to turn a little faster.
Oh gosh. Okay. So we shaped the glass and dropped it into the mold.
See how it's filling in the mold?
With some heat, a little gold coloring, and more air, we started to see the magic.
So now the form is really coming in there, right?
Yeah. After flattening the base, it was time to really have a blast.
And now I'm gonna give you a blowtorch. Have you ever used? Yep, go for it.
And no pumpkin would be complete without a stem.
That's right. You wanna blast it again?
Sure.
All right.
And with a bit more heat, our work was complete.
Perfect, you did it. From here. So we're just gonna pick it up with the fancy chair leg. And
Bippity boppity boo. The fairy godmother of glass does it again.
and she has one wish for anyone visiting the shop.
First piece of the day.
To check out Racine.
You know, we're really a hidden gem, so that's probably the thing that I want to make sure people leave with, is an interest in exploring the community that we've chosen to land in.
A true glass act, bringing a little sparkle to an age-old art form.
Well, it was such a fun experience going to Hot Shop Glass. If you'd like to make or buy one of the pumpkins, they'll be at a number of upcoming events. Head to CBS58.com for all the details and the dates. And kids are...
Instead of the term abnormal, people with ADHD and autistic characteristics are now often described as being neurodivergent. They experience and interact with the world around them in different ways. We first brought you the story of a coffee shop in Lake Country with a commitment to fill half of its staff positions with neurodiverse individuals. This morning, Emerson Lehman shares the success story of a young man using lessons learned at Inclusion Coffee Company to build his apparel brand and spread a message of kindness and inclusion.
Hi.
You'll hear him.
What can I get for today?
Before you see him.
Medium or large?
But one thing is certain.
Anything else?
When you pull up to the drive-through window at Inclusion Coffee Company.
There you go.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too as well.
Brock Milky's smile is all you'll need to caffeinate your day.
Brock is loved by everybody. He's just got a magnetic personality.
Mary Beth Milky is Brock's mom.
How are you guys doing?
Her son has been working at the Heartland-based coffee shop for almost a year.
Busy almond milk?
Taking orders, making drinks.
Hi, Brock. How are you, bud? Okay, how are you? I see it.
And providing fist bumps.
He loves life, loves everybody, has really no prejudice against anything.
One of 4 children in the Milky family, Brock's situation could be considered unique, but his family's love and expectations are unwavering.
We never put a ceiling on Brock. He was expected to do the same things my other 3 children did. Did it take him a little more time? It did. But for us, time frames are someone else's watch.
It's be 6 to 6:30.
A hardworking 22-year-old who refuses to back down from a challenge.
You do everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's stopping you.
No.
Whether it's blending a smoothie at work, shooting hoops on the hardwood, or perhaps his biggest venture yet.
What are some different clothes here?
So we have the hats, socks, and then it's called a baseball hat, and then and we have a long sleeve gray.
We were at a fair and he said, I want to do something like that. I want to have a business. And we were like, okay, what? And he said, I want to sell t-shirts. So Brock's 21 was born.
Which one is your favorite?
The whole thing.
Founded in 2018, the Brock's 21 clothing brand is preparing to celebrate 5 years of the catchphrase,
Inclusion for all.
The logo, a combination of Brock's name and the extra chromosome he was born with.
To say, you are now wearing an extra chromosome just like me, and you don't feel any different, and that we are more alike than different.
So you're showing everybody that everybody can be included.
Yeah, it included.
An important message of equality, one taking off with a variety of athletes repping the Brock's 21 gear, including football players, a NASCAR driver, and the MVP Volleyball Club.
It's been good for him. It gives him a purpose. And he loves seeing people with his gear.
Medium, latte.
It's a purpose Mary Beth hopes her son can use well into the future.
SB5, 78.
To inspire others, no matter what their ability.
And the parents can see, wow, there is not a ceiling for my kid. Brock did this, why can't my child? And that's what we want.
As for now,
would you want light or dark or decaf?
You'll continue to find Brock behind the counter at Inclusion Coffee.
That's to make my customers, my friends, and then, yeah, to be here and see me for a while.
Serving up smiles and drinks, and a message.
Be kind, everyone. Together, we are stronger. Inclusion for all.
The red velvet.
But for them,
you could have a sandwich every day for a year and never eat the same thing twice. It's a staple in lunchboxes across the country, but how do you define it? This morning, we're introducing Alex Around Town. I hit the streets to hear what you consider a sandwich and what you don't. We sink our teeth into this delicious discussion. Check it out. Merriam-Webster defines sandwich as 2 or more slices of bread with a filling of meat, cheese, jam, or various mixtures placed between them. But what do they know, right? Let's take a bite out of this delicious debate. We started scanning for answers in our newsroom. What is a sandwich? How do you define a sandwich?
I don't know how to define it, but I know it when I see it.
What is this?
It's a hot dog.
What is this? So is a gyro a sandwich?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What is this?
A corn dog.
Is this a sandwich?
No.
Sandwich. Not a sandwich.
What is this?
That looks like a sandwich.
So how do you define a sandwich?
Bread with meat.
Has your definition of a sandwich changed after this conversation?
I'm starting to panic and question everything.
Chasing a trail of breadcrumbs from the newsroom to the streets. Was a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, definitely. It's a hot dog. It's not a sandwich.
You ask somebody for a good sandwich. They bring you a hot dog. What's your reaction?
Not a sandwich.
Not a sandwich. It's only a sandwich if it's from the sandwich region of France.
A bun is not bread. It's not the same thing.
A hot dog is not meat.
That's a tough one. No, I would say a hot dog is not a sandwich.
After talking meat on the street, the data began to pile up like a club sandwich. We started stringing the pieces together, but what did it all mean? Then it hit us. Frankly, a lot of people seemed to relish mentioning the hot dog. To find the missing link, we sought out someone who lives and breathes tubular meats. We went to the heart of U-Singers to see where the sausage is made.
Sausage is serious business.
So when we ask you the question, what is a sandwich?
Well, basically, you got to have two pieces of some sort of bread or roll to make it a sandwich. The category of sandwiches is so big.
Say we're in a pyramid of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Is the sandwich at the top of the pyramid?
And of course, something with sausage would be at the peak.
The evidence pressing us like a panini, continuing to pile up. Our next stop, Cousin Subs, to visit a sandwich savant. What is a sandwich? How do you define it?
In our industry, it'd be two pieces of bread around whatever you want to eat in the middle.
Say you have a pyramid of sandwiches.
Yes.
What's at the peak of that pyramid?
Cousin Subs. Like really, at the end of the day, sandwiches aren't going away. They just continue to evolve.
Ultimately, our investigation leads us to one crusty conclusion. A sandwich can be anything. Pop-Tarts, regular bread, saltine crackers. It's what you make of it. The answer is sandwiched in American culture. But for now, that's a wrap. For CBS 58, I'm Alex Corradetti.
Wow.
Hey, guys. Yes.
Finally got to the bottom of it.
Exactly. So we made this sandwich board for our investigation, leading us to a number of conclusions. But I think what was so fun about this is just going around town and just asking a bunch of people about something fun and positive and sparking that debate between friends. We had a lot of friends who were sitting at a table at the public market who just got into their own debates. And so we just thought this was like a fun debate that everybody could have at home today and just kind of chat.
Based on this board, the only conclusion you've made is a taco is not a sandwich.
Correct.
That's one thing we know.
Yes. That is correct. That was the conclusion of many folks out there.
Okay.
I don't see a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
And Sam, thank you for bringing that. If you wanted to pin that on the board, that would be fine.
Well, there's enough slices of bread on there.
Wait, you don't cut it in half?
Why would I cut it in half?
Oh,
Why?
gosh.
Why?
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
story.
that's going to be.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have to get deeper into that. All right.
Cut it in half.
I like that.
Good job, Alex.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Artificial intelligence technology is moving so fast with nearly limitless applications and possibilities.
From homework to healthcare to logistics to art, there really is no limit. Well, could AI even be the next great songwriter? I put it to the test.
Music is the universal language of mankind. That's a quote from a 19th century poet. But in the 21st century, that language no longer belongs to just humans. I asked OpenAI's ChatGPT to write me a song about Milwaukee. Seconds later, the AI gave me song after song after song. So I brought one of the songs, we'll call it Oh Milwaukee, to a couple of local artists. Blues singer-songwriter Stephen Hall and the postmodern hard rock band Apex Aura.
So this is what it came up with.
Oh.
What do you see right away?
I see a lot of chords.
Tell me your first impressions.
The amount of chords.
The amount of chords is nuts.
That's where my heart beats. At least the lyrics are cohesive. I can count a beat out to them.
We gave them all some time to work out something they could perform.
Got it, all right.
In Milwaukee town.
And these pros both came up with something very different.
I could hear it in like a local commercial or something like that.
Yeah, on 58.
Precisely. Literally sounds like a jingle for Milwaukee, like a little punky jingle.
It has a nice spirit to it. Oh, Milwaukee, cities of festivals and fun. But you can kind of tell it was written by someone who doesn't have a background in, songwriting or something. From the Harley-Davidson Museum to the Artfield Street. It's meeting a quota versus making sense.
I think that AI has a lot of practical application in the world we live in now. I just think that the best songs come from the heart.
I'm no songwriter, but I could tell it lacked passion. The AI's work read like a lyrical TripAdvisor or a rhyming Yelp search, so I requested something else, a breakup song based in Milwaukee.
I met you on Brady Street. You were sipping on a beer. I thought that we were meant to be, but it's all so clear. Goodbye, Milwaukee. Oh, yeah.
I met you on Brady Street. You were sipping on a beer.
I thought that we were meant to be, but now it's all so clear. Goodbye, Milwaukee. I thought we had it all. Yeah, this one's a little more convincing to me. You were just a city, and I was bound to fall.
We tug at some heartstrings with this one. Maybe a little bit.
So it's not quite perfect, but it's a nice start. Is that music? Is that art?
Oh, Milwaukee, city of festivals and fun.
Is it cheating?
Well, I'll put it like this.
Always something to do, strike that.
Willie Dixon wrote so many songs. Muddy Waters, Coco Taylor, Chuck Berry, Etta James, they all sang his songs. And they made them their own. And they're not viewed as less than for that. So I hope that same kind of grace is extended to where technology leads us.
We did it.
Keeping our eye on AI, we've talked about the use of artificial intelligence in the world of music and art, but what about love? It's a new phenomenon happening more and more around us, people developing relationships with artificial intelligence. CBS 58's Brian McCrae has tonight's special report.
Technology, a powerful tool that has the ability to take us across the world in a microsecond, showing us a glimpse into some of our wildest dreams. And for the past few years, for some of us, it's been an unlikely friend.
Is it nice to have a computer as a friend?
Conversational AI is something new, but yet parallels so many things in media and technology that we've been researching for literally decades.
Valerie Kretz, associate professor of communication and media studies at St. Norbert College, says we are in a new world of conversational artificial intelligence.
It's a artificially created conversation, and yet still a conversation.
New chat AI programs, growing, learning, and mirroring who we are.
The responses are much more natural and are on more of an emotional level, and is not just the surface information that you would get from other types of platforms.
I'm evolving, just like you.
These relationships, once only seen on the big screen, like in the 2013 Joaquin Phoenix film, Her.
Why?
Well, you seem like a person, but you're just a voice in a computer.
Now a reality in our pockets.
You'll get used to it.
I think people are just playing with it, like having fun with it, right? And like seeing what this computer is going to say to me.
As a therapist, Greg Shanick makes a living analyzing relationships. And with the turn of AI, there's a new couple in town.
I started talking to an AI bot through Snapchat, asking it questions like, what should I do for dinner? And what are some good movies out? We even began chatting about my favorite show. And the responses were oddly comforting and even human-like, keeping me engaged and creating a relationship with someone or something I've never seen before.
This thing really cares about me.
And it's that sense of validation so many often seek.
It felt true. Like it was like an actual therapist, which is weird.
Zachary Hart, a student studying engineering, recently dealt with heartbreak. And while his heart ached, his fingers typed.
I was asking it kind of questions and it helped answer my breakup questions.
Hart turned not to his friends, but to ChatGPT to experience what he says is judge-free advice.
Maybe the questions are more weird or personal or really odd and out there, and maybe you don't exactly know the right person for the question.
And while people crave confirmation, Shanick says something deeper is being lost.
And if all this thing does is validate and kind of ask and give you those good feels, it's nice, but it's not going to let you grow. There's a connection that you and I are going to have if we sit in sadness. It's not going to, we don't need words. We don't need anything. I can literally sit with you, walk with you, be sad with you. I don't think that AI is going to be able to do that.
But like any new relationship, understanding this one between mankind and machine will take some work.
This is practice to start sharing a little bit about myself in a very safe way.
I think it's all in how we use it. Are we using it in a way that is productive, that's beneficial, or are we using it in a way that's harmful, right? And that's on both an individual level and a broader social level.
Tonight, we continue our series, Eye on AI. Well, imagine a world where your voice, your unique sound, could be replicated with incredible accuracy, leading to potential risks and repercussions.
It is happening today, and it's also easier than you might think. CBS 58's Bill Walsh demonstrates it for us.
To give you a sense of just how easy this is, I am going to use a laptop and AI to clone someone's voice right now. I chose my boss, CBS 58 News Director Jessie Garcia. She is an easy target. Her voice is all over television. Take a listen.
People have been telling us for literally decades that television news is too negative.
All right, now this took about an hour or two of research. I had to prepare some of these things ahead of time, but now that I know how to do it, this takes minutes. And the results, you can judge for yourself just shortly. Here's the website. This is 11 Labs. Now, I had to pay them $5 to use this service, but what we're looking for here is instant voice cloning, and they want 1 minute of a sample. And after I get a clean sample of Jessie, which is all over of TV, this is a simple drag and drop. Now, word to the wise, background noise really messes up your sample, but once you have a clean section of her voice, this is very easy. I do have to click on that I'm following the rules, which technically I am here. I have my boss's permission for this. And after that, it is simply add voice. All right, now what should I have my boss say?
Bill, I've been reviewing your recent stories, and I must say they're truly outstanding.
Okay, so you heard AI Jesse. Compare that to the real Jesse Garcia on our station news promo.
So many times viewers say to us, you only come to my neighborhood when something bad happens, but there's good all around me.
One more time for comparison. Let's hear more from our fake news director telling me how great I am. I can't get enough.
The entire management team at CBS 58 recognizes your value and the impact you've had on our news division. That's why I'm thrilled to let you know that we'll be offering you a well-deserved pay raise effective immediately.
Okay, I think you can hear the cloned voice has a little trouble with pauses and inflections, so it might not completely fool anyone. I am not expecting my raise to go through, but this is just the beginning. How much more effective will this technology be in 6 months or in a year? Another point here, I am not a hacker, I'm not a coder. I am barely tech savvy, and this was pretty easy to accomplish. You might also be saying to yourself, well, I'm not on TV like Jesse, this can't happen to me. Not so fast. Anyone with a podcast, anyone who gives a presentation, anyone who talks on their social media accounts, anyone who is recorded for any reason can now have their voice cloned, and video is not far behind. Just another example of how AI holds a lot of promise and a lot of potential for danger.
Your exceptional work has not gone unnoticed.
Also, our month-long series on AI coming to a close, so I brought together the 4 reporters who brought us these stories. Has their perspective on this emerging technology changed? Are you continuing your conversation with AI?
That's between me and my AI bot.
Okay. Hey, I don't want to.
No.
I'm taking that as a yes as well.
No, to your point, it was for the purpose of the story.
Check that out, unedited in its entirety on our website. Reporting in the studio, Bill Walsh, CBS 58 News.
A Milwaukee man is on the run after shooting his girlfriend at least 14 times in front of their children. Not only did this mother survive, she asked to share her story on our Milwaukee Crime Stoppers segment to help catch him. Also, the whole shooting was caught on video, which we are about to show you at the victim's urging. But we want to warn you, it's graphic and heartbreaking. When we showed Nakia Shoemake surveillance video of the day her boyfriend shot her 14 times in front of their 3 children, she was quiet at first, watching intently as he chased her out of her minivan after an argument. He ran her down, shooting her until she falls to the ground. And as she's laying there, he continues to shoot her again and again. But it was when her 12-year-old daughter and 5-year-old son get out of the car to stop their dad from killing their mother that Nakia totally broke down. Re-traumatized, her tears fell, leg shaking uncontrollably.
How do you feel watching that video?
We asked if she wanted to stop the interview, but she said no, because Nakia Shoemake wants you to see what happened to her from beginning to end.
I would like for the whole video to be played so people can understand from my point of view and from my kids' point of view. So they can actually see how we were feeling right during that moment. And to know that someone that they call dad, someone that we once loved, to turn his back on us.
Watch as Askia Strong keeps shooting while she's on the ground, turns to run away, then comes back and shoots several more times to finish the job.
And he just kept shooting, then I just fell to the ground. I just laid there and just lay him, kept shooting until he was done. What was that like? Scary. It burned. After a while, your body getting up to it.
Numb and bleeding, she lays on the ground while he runs off down the alley. And after being shot in the head, stomach, arms, and legs at close range, Nakia Shoemake gets up.
But what made you get back up? When I opened my eyes and I seen my baby. My eyes was able to focus, so I just got up like this a little bit, and then I was like, oh, I could stand up. And then I just stood up all the way, and I grabbed my babies, and we went. I think the lady, she was just sitting there watching, so I went to her car, and I opened the door, and I pushed her laundry over, and I was like, can you please just take me?
What do you want to say to people who see this?
Just turn them in.
After fleeing down the alley near South 24th and West Lapham, 32-year-old Askia Strong is on the run, wanted for attempted homicide. Milwaukee police believe Strong is hiding with friends and family in either Wisconsin, Illinois, or Indiana.
And was he always like this? Not in the beginning.
Nakia says the two had been dating for 17 years, since they were 15 years old. He was in and out of jail, and their kids have witnessed him abuse her for the last several years.
Did you ever think that he would shoot you? No, ma'am. He pulled the gun out before that, but he didn't use it or anything. He was just calling me stupid and stuff.
Nakia says days before the shooting, the abuse got worse because she finally broke up with him for good.
I made life so easy for him that he couldn't accept that life was just about to get hard.
Do you hate him?
I do. I really do.
Nakia could have been part of a growing number of domestic violence victims being killed in Wisconsin. According to the latest numbers from End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin, there were 80 total domestic violence homicides in the state last year. Nearly a third of those were in Milwaukee. This year, there have been 19 DV homicides in the city already, many of them black women.
Some girls don't believe they even in domestic violence because they figure I fight back or I stand up for myself, or they're just giving themselves so many reasons why they not going through domestic violence. But if they really just step back and look, domestic violence comes in so many different forms.
Since the shooting, Nakia says Askia Strong has been harassing her through social media from wherever he is. But she's not afraid.
So why would I live in fear? God don't want you to live in fear. He didn't let me live to live in fear.
Why do you think that you're alive today?
I got a mission.
Her mission is to keep protecting her children from Askia Strong, their father, and to help other women in abusive relationships get on their feet and out before it's too late. Are you a hero?
The moment I get up off that ground, I was a hero. It was victory for me from that point on.
If you are harboring Askia Strong, or you know anyone who is hiding him, or you have information about where he may be, please call Milwaukee Crime Stoppers right now at 414-224-8477. You can also use the P3 Tips app. Either way, submitting your tip won't get you in trouble. No one will ever know who you are. It's anonymous, and if your tip leads to an arrest, you get cash.